You may ask, what is the Indy 500? Why is it so important, and how long has it been around? Well, today I'm here to talk to you about all the history that there is to know about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So let's get started. The Indy 500 is not only the world's best attended single-day sporting event in the country, but it even welcomes several hundreds of thousands of people from all across the world who come together to support, bet, and have a great time watching this specific race. With this being said, it's held on the weekend of Memorial Day every year, but this tradition started in 1911 when the first race started. It has been going on since, so we're at about 112 years now that the Indy 500 has been going on, except for the war years of 1917 to 18 and 1942 to 45. The race is always held at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana, which is a suburban enclave of Indianapolis. Although the race has been held since 1911, the Motor Speedway was built in 1909 as a testing facility for the local automotive industry. The track was first paved with crushed rock and tar, but was soon repaved with brick, which is actually how it's got its name, the Brickyard, which you'll hear pretty often. The track is 2.5 miles long and has two 3,300-foot straightaways and two 660-foot straightaways, along with 4 quarter-mile turns, each banked at an angle of about 9 degrees. The speedway is also home to a 400-mile stock car race each August. Dating back to the first race again in 1911, American Ray Horan won the first 500 in about 6 hours and 42 minutes with an average speed of 74.6 miles per hour, which is crazy to think about. Imagine almost 7 hours in a car straight, but going high speeds with your head on a swivel. That's insane. So Ray, the winner of the race, won $14,000 at the time, which was a lot of money. What's even crazier is if you fast forward to the race's 9th decade, the winner's average speed typically exceeds over 160 miles per hour, with single lap speeds of some 220 miles per hour. On top of that, the earnings at this point in time come out to be about $1.3 million. Then, in the year 1913, their first foreigner won the race. He was Frenchman Jules Gaux. And then, by the time that 1977 rolled around, women were finally able to start competing within the race. I'd say one of the most joyful parts about this race is watching the winner drink milk. You get to see how excited they are. Everyone is taking pictures. Everyone cheers. Everyone waits for it. And that's what the winner is really looking forward to at the end of their long race. This is actually a tradition that dates back to 1936, where the winner celebrates by drinking a bottle of milk. And this all started because of a driver named Louis Mayer who requested buttermilk to quench his thirst after the race. So ever since then, it's been a great tradition that everyone has carried on and will continue to do so. Now let's focus on the history of the ownership. So at first, the race was sanctioned by the American Automobile Association. Then, from 1956 to 1997, the race was under the aegis of the United States Auto Club. Ownership changed again in 1996 for the Speedway owner to Tony George, who formed the Indy Racing League, known as IRL, to counteract the influence of CART. Now, CART is known as the Championship Auto Racing Teams, which was a rival open wheel race series formed 2 years prior before Tony George formed his Indy Racing League. Ever since then, the IRL has overseen the 500. In today's era, it is now the most famous race and has been for a really long time in motorsports, where everyone from all over the world comes to watch or streams it from their radios, TVs. Everywhere is watching it, and everyone is. The crowd goes wild, and the race is so intense. There's even the Snake Pit now, which is a new addition, which continues to even make more profit for the event. Now, the Snake Pit is a concert that basically takes place in the center of the track where artists are able to perform. So a lot of people will buy tickets and basically go to a concert while enjoying the race aspect of it as well. so many drivers, and the track and event itself bring in so much money from all across the world, especially not only from viewers, but also from sponsors, because everybody wants to sponsor their business, their brand at this worldwide event. So a lot of times you'll see huge posters all throughout the venue, and then a lot of sponsors will also choose which driver they want. Typically, the bigger sponsors get more of the better drivers, so they can, they advertise their brand more out there as they're driving around the track. It's a really long race. It goes on for hours at a time, so it's definitely something that people pay attention to, and that's why sponsors like to get involved on that. But with all that being said, that is the basic history of the Indianapolis 500, and I hope to see you guys there this summer. Who do you think is going to win this year's race?